All right, guys, still coming at you on vacation here. Just a reminder, there's no Crystal, Kyle, and Friends this week. I tried to deliver some of the regular shows for you, but we weren't able to get a Crystal, Kyle, and Friends since we're on vacation. But we will be back next week, regular schedule with both my show and Crystal, Kyle, and Friends. So here are some updates that we have to talk about real quick. Biden keeps getting worse. Ever since the debate, it's now been like a tsunami of truth about what his cognitive state really is. So he did a speech at a 4th of July barbecue event at the White House, and he rambled about traffic and then left within 2 minutes. Now, it looked like the plan was for him to leave quickly, and his advisors told him, you better get out of there quick, and he did that. But his speech was kind of all over the place and brought up traffic and said thank you 14 times, and then he left. So that was kind of weird. He also said at this Independence Day event, Kamala Harris introduced him, and he said, ho, 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 happy Independence Day. Now, as many people are pointing out, the ho, ho, ho very possibly could have been a mental mistake where he was thinking it was Christmas for a half second, and then he snapped back into reality and said Independence Day. Or it just could have been, an old-timey, goofy Biden way of hey, oh, sort of introducing himself like that, making his first words that. But at this point, he's lost all ability to get any sort of grace for any stumbles and fumbles and senior moments. Now everything's under a microscope, of course, as it should be. He also did an interview on a black radio show, and he kind of stumbled and said that he's the first black woman president. What he was trying to say is I picked the first black female VP, but he ended up saying, I'm the first black woman president. I mean, more and more this is going to happen. More and more this is going to happen. And there's already maximum pressure being exerted on Biden now to drop out and on the Democrats to try to force him out. But at least to this point, they've withheld it. I don't know how much longer that's going to go on. So then we also have, he met with governors. He had a call with governors. And at one point in that, he said, I'm okay, it's just my brain. Now, most of the governors on the call seemed to think it was a joke, and they sort of laughed along with it. But there was at least one who didn't really take it as a joke and was that's not, why are you saying that? That's actually terrifying to think that you are acknowledging that your brain is kind of cooked at the moment. And then here are the two biggest updates. Apparently, some longtime Biden friends met with him recently, and he couldn't remember their names. This was in New York Magazine. There was an article that spoke about this and other moments, but he couldn't remember their names. So, again, this is just getting to the point where it's sad, man. It is genuinely elder abuse to try to keep pushing him through this. Now, I know he says he wants to do it, and I don't doubt that he's being stubborn and trying to stay the course, but at some point, cooler heads need to prevail, and rationality needs to kick in here, and somebody needs to be able to get through to him, because this is just unacceptable. And then the final point is Abigail Disney and other big money donors are now coming out and saying, and these are big money Democrat donors, they're saying, look, you're done. I'm not sending another penny to Joe Biden. Not only that, some of these guys are saying, I'm not sending another penny to any Democrats who are still backing Joe Biden. So there's kind of a moneyed interest revolt here. Now, on the one hand, that's actually kind of gross and dark because it shows what our system really is. It shows that we're an oligarchy. It shows that we're a kleptocracy. It shows that the donors control everything. The billionaires, the robber barons, they're in charge. And on the one hand, I absolutely despise that, and we need to change that. That's the rot at the center of all of our politics. But on the other hand, this is a very, very, very rare instance where, the donors are actually being the rational ones. This isn't just motivated by greed and self-interest in this instance. It's this just literally can't continue. The guy's a walking corpse. So, I don't know, man. We're at maximum pressure right now, and I could tell you for sure that we know there's an interview that should be dropping today with George Stephanopoulos. But guess what? The Biden team has tried to negotiate it down to just a 15-minute interview. So, in other words, they know he can't sit there for an hour. They know he can't sit there for 30 minutes. So they tried to negotiate it down to just 15 minutes. And guess what? I can almost guarantee you that there's going to be at least 2 or 3 more moments, maybe more, that come out of this interview, which is going to lead to the maximum pressure campaign to get him to drop. So I don't know how much longer this can continue. I genuinely don't. And then I'll end on this note, guys. So apparently we had a Labour Party massive victory that just happened in the UK. They're calling it an unprecedented landslide. The Labour Party is projected to win about 410 of the UK's 650 parliamentary seats. The Conservatives are now reduced to 131 seats. So this ends a 14-year rule of the Conservatives. And that's a huge deal. Now, I will also say, though, just to sort of temper people's excitement a little bit, this is the Labour Party led by Keir Starmer, and he is a neoliberal centrist. So in other words, this is not the Labour Party of yesteryear, which was led by Jeremy Corbyn, who's kind of like the Bernie Sanders of the UK, sort of a true leftist, a true social democrat. This is not that Labour Party. Now, by the way, Jeremy Corbyn did go on to win his seat as an independent. He defeated Labour, and so he's still in Parliament, but he's not the leader of the Labour Party anymore. It's Keir Starmer, and Rishi Sunak, the Prime Minister, just stepped down. Now Keir Starmer's going to take over. Sorry if you hear background noise. We got planes flying and whatnot over here. But the Labour Party got 40% of the vote in 2017 under Corbyn. This time they got 34% of the vote, but actually won in a landslide. So as a percentage, their numbers went down. But they ended up winning bigger because, whatever sort of goofy parliamentary system is set up over there, that's just the way the cookie crumbled. That's just the way this came out. So now Labour's in control. Will they actually do anything? I mean, we'll see. But these days, the Labour Party, you can see the plane, look. You can see the banner. These days, the Labour Party is very similar to like what the Democrats are here. Centrist, neoliberal, milquetoast. Really, this vote was more of a rejection of the right and conservatism than it was, in agreement with the Labour Party. Because this is a defanged Labour Party to the max. So anyway, there are your updates, some pretty big things. We'll be back in the studio next week. Everybody enjoy the rest of your holiday weekend, and I'll talk to you soon.